there, kids! It's Wu-Tang Wednesday! It's for the children. Anyway, hi, I'm your host, Tim, the one and only child of Mecha. Hi, Mecha Army. I hope you're having a good week. I'm having an okay week. Can't complain too much. Still unemployed. What are you gonna do, right? But hey, it is what it is. So, here we are, together again. Welcome. The Child of Mecha store is open. Go get you some stuff. Support your boy. If you missed it, our friend Julius, Mr. Absolute Legend, recorded a video today and showed the stickers. And I'm going to tell you what, I know Julius is in the chat. I had no clue the big sheet was going to be that fucking big. I posted it on my Instagram stories for all of you to see, and I reposted Julius's video on Instagram and everything. So if you haven't had a chance, go check it out. He got a Power GM full sheet sticker, 8.5 by 11, I think, 8.5 by 10. I think it's 8 by 10, 8 by 10, something like that. And the thing is ridiculously large. Like, I had no clue it was going to be that big. I had an idea, right? I had measurements and everything, but like in actual sizing, I have no place. I have no idea where he's going to put it. So yeah, it's crazy. So go get you some good stuff. Shop.childofmecha.com. Really good stuff. Yeah, help support. Anyways, that was a really cool video. Julius, thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Also, you know, while you're perusing said internet, go get you some of these. Yeah, they're good shit. They're good stuff. Anyway, so we're going to jump back on to the boosters tonight. If you missed it yesterday, we got some decent work done yesterday. I had a complete change of direction though after the stream. I'll show you what I did. Not necessarily my fault, but it's one of those things where we do have to change direction. So we'll show you here in a little bit. First, let's get caught up with the chat right quick and say hi to everybody. Let's see. Looks like Bill is with us and Mr. Burke. Ace, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for your order today. Appreciate you. And then Swanky, he says hello, everyone. What's going on, Swank? Let's see. Bill says, what's up with me? I was going to mention this anyways. Tomorrow is my friend's funeral. Oh, shit. So I won't be on the stream. Totally understandable. A lot of not so good stuff going down around here. Damn, I'm sorry, Bill. That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, buddy. I really am. That sucks. Listen, life comes first. I always say that. Life comes first. Because as our friend Bailey always says, life be lifin'. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, take whatever, time or anything, life responsibilities always come first. I always say that. Always. So, hell yeah. Take care of business. So, and I'm sorry. Everything's going on, unfortunately. Let's see, what else? Andrew's with us. He says, evening all. Got a set of ceramic scrapers ordered and on the way. Good stuff. They're good. Let's see. Burke says, it's slow, but almost done. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, the question of the day. Has the hobby change the way you approach challenges outside of modeling? If so, how? I'll go first. Yes, it has. It has drastically. It has taught me that I can basically fix whatever it is that happens to break or I break or what have you, with a little ingenuity and a little bit of imagination. Yeah. So that's a really good thing. When you start thinking outside that box, yeah, you can do a lot of shit. You can do a lot of shit. So, let's see. Bert, I'm sorry to hear that, Bill. Yeah, Andrew says sorry to hear that, Bill. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Andrew answered the question of the day. He says, yes, it has gotten me to take a close look at the Transformers I collect and look for flaws from the factory that I might have to fix to enjoy them. Fair enough. Fair enough, yeah. Fair enough. Julie says, hello, everyone. Tim will be wearing the Wu-Tang Wednesday shirt. I mean, it is Wu-Tang Wednesday. It's just like, it's pretty... I mean, we kind of have that expectation, really, you know? But you're right. Handren's with us. Good evening, lads. What's going on, Handren? Julius answered the question of the day. He says, yes, it has taught me to be more patient. Progress and quality move slowly. Damn right. Damn right. It's a good answer. Andrew says, I would like to apologize in advance if I don't interact as much tonight or get snippy. Found out earlier today that my parents threw out a lot of my food when they got a new refrigerator yesterday. Aw, that sucks. Bill answered the question of the day. No. Before I ever got into any of these plastic modeling / miniature hobbies, I was always taking phones and electronics apart and kit bashing G.I. Joes, though I didn't know what that word was then, right? I was kind of the same. I was mixing and matching G.I. Joe parts too. And I, you know, when I was young, I didn't have a fucking clue what kit bashing was or anything like that. So, yeah, I kind of feel you there. Andrew says, and aren't willing to replace it. Aw, boo. Burke says, well, time for another new fridge. That's lame, right? Mecha PR, he's over there on Twitch. He says, hello, what's going on, bud? Good to see you. Julia says, yes, I have now twice guessed the correct shirt you were wearing. Nice. Were they both Wednesday? Bill says to Andrew, did they explain the reasoning behind it? Maybe they feel like they were justified in throwing out the food and thus feel no responsibility to replace it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was past date. Who knows? Charles Dodge, he's over there on Twitch. He says evening. The legend. Let's see. Andrew says, nope. What I had in there was relatively fresh. I had bought it previous Friday. Oh, yeah, okay. Nothing there. Let's see. Burke says, perhaps the fridge went bad and everything with it. Nope. They just bought a new fridge for the fuck of it. Previous one was 6 years old and it worked perfectly. Bill says, yeah, just waiting for the third bad news to drop. My sister-in-law had to put one of their cats down last night. Cancer. Oh, fuck. They removed almost a pound of fluid from around the cat's heart. So that was number 2. Holy shit. Bad news always in threes. Yeah. Okay, no more. He says, okay, no more talk on that sad crap. We're here for plastic crack. Let's get our fix. I love it. There you go, Bill. There you go. Turn that frown upside down, my boy. All right, let's fucking get it. Yeah? Let's fucking go. All right, camera 2. Here we go. So, like I said, we have to change directions on the, Boomhauser arm here. Originally, yesterday, I laid down a strip of plastic sheet that, or strip that kind of looked like that, right? And when I went to put that in said piece, it fit perfectly fine, like this, without the other half on. But then when I put the other half on and, snugged it tight and everything like that, the inside joint right here, the gap there was wide. Yeah, it was wide. So, come to find out, this guy flares out at the bottom. It tapers down, which I did not notice yesterday. So, looking at top down, yeah, there's this big old 1/4 mil gap on either side, but then when you look at it down the length of it, kind of, like that, it's much closer at the bottom here, and thus that 1/4 mil, that was only on one side too. I hadn't even applied it to the other side. It was just expanding the piece, and the two parts would not have gone together. So, had to strip that off of there, sand this all down, yada, yada, yada. So we'll come up with another solution for this. It's not going to be that hard. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. So what I figure I'll do is glue this in place, and then we'll just kind of start to fill out the plastic and everything like that around it. So is it a big deal? Not exactly in the grand scheme of things, but it's annoying, sure. But it is what it is. Not a biggie. Not a biggie. Anyway, all right, let's get this guy apart. So, we've got our stop block here to limit how far it goes down, and that's the exact angle, everything that I wanted at, and it looks like look at this. Look, you see that? You see that right there? That's a super glue fingerprint right there. Hang on. Y'all ever get the super glue fingerprints? Where you accidentally touch the super glue and then touch someplace else on the model, and your fingerprint transfers with the super glue. Yeah, that happens to me all the damn time, but c'est la vie. Easy enough to clean. All right, cool. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and glue this side in tonight and get that going and everything. And then we'll start to shape this thing out, detail it, get it going. So let's get our good old friend, little Mr. Plastic Magic there, yeah? Little Mr. Plastic Magic. So what we're gonna do, right in there, squeeze that. That in there, and then for alignment's sake, we're going to put the other side on. Now there's no danger of this being glued up or anything like that, because we just put the glue into the hole. So we'll let that set up for a little bit. We'll do the same thing to this side here. Right there, like that. All right. So, we'll let those set up. we'll let those set up. Now then, one of the things that we really do need to address is how we go about mounting the fuel tanks for this. What I'm thinking, because we want one of the fuel tanks to be stepped down from, you know, the other one, right? So we want. Oh, and by the way, look at this. Like I did that after the stream yesterday, so those are looking kind of nice. I applied the little angled mold there. Little nice little wide dealy there. All right, so yeah, so what we want to do is we want these to be staggered, right? I don't want to. All right, that's definitely starting to set up. Good deal. Excellent. So this will be, once this is inserted, we'll go in probably a good 3 millimeters. So that'll be shorter than that by about 3 millimeters, right? So what I'm looking for maybe is something along that line, right? That kind of staggered look there. I like that. I like that. So what I think we need to do is make a step block for in here. So where that gets bumped out a little bit, 2-3 millimeters, something like that, nothing crazy. So let's see, how wide? That's too wide. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This is 5 millimeters. That should be good right there. What's our width on the peg here? Let's see. About 3 millimeters. Yeah. 3 mil all the way around. Okay, cool. So this is 5, so we'll have a millimeter on each side, so that's pretty good. Now I could always fit more in there because there's a lip at the bottom here. I think that's probably what we'll do. Yeah. So we'll go with the 6.3 millimeter strip here. That's 3/4. This is 1 mil here. All right. So let's get this figured out. I was doing a lot of duplication work yesterday on other parts and stuff like that, and got the toe notches duplicated. So that's a big thing there. All right, so let's get the chopper out here and square that end up there. So this is 3, so we want, so we basically want a square. So we're going to use this as our gauge. Lock that in. 1, 2, 3. Boom. All right. So there's our stack of 3. So we want it about 3 millimeters, basically 3 millimeters protruded from the other tank, right? So I think that should be good right there. Now, let me see. Let me check these here. All right, that one's almost there. All right, there's still movement in those two, so we're not ready to go with that just yet. All right, so what we'll go ahead and do is then cut the other one here. 1, 2, 3. Done and done. All right, cool. So get that out of the way here. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's get to stacking. Racks on racks on racks. Ooh, here's a lot of super glue on the surface here. Let's get that cleaned off. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice and smooth. That's one of the good things about one of these 1, 2, 3 blocks. They're easily cleanable. Easily cleanable. All right. Good deal. So, let's get caught up in the chat real quick before we start this, and that way we'll give the boosters a little bit more time to set up and all that. So yeah, let's get caught up in the chat just real quick. Kind of a detour. Bill says, I see a hobby saw. Yeah, that was for the toe notch that I cut out. So had to do a little. And Andrew says, I still think vents need to be scribed into the boxes of that arm. The boxes of the arm? Like the arm? Wait, what arm? I didn't even show the arm on camera. On here? On the boom arm? I don't know. Anyway. Bill says, so are we plating over the top outside? No. Hard left. Mr. Brian, Mr. Lelouch. Hello, night crew. Brian, what's up, buddy? Vents, you mean the brake light recesses? Evening, Brian. Evening, Brian. Howdy, Brian. Hi, Brian. Everybody's saying hi to Brian. Henry says, missed a few of the plow plating sessions. How much plow plating been done, Tim? Not at all. Not at all. No plow plating. Brian says, hey guys, I was so out of work today. I was the definition of lazy today. Nice. Gio's with us. He says, hello everyone. I had a lot of issues painting yesterday. The hyper aluminum came out really bad. Even though I did a glossy black base, it turns out dull. What kind of paint are you using, Gio? Let me know. Let us know. Julius, question.
We have a question.
How did you get that piece of styrene off after it was glued on without destroying the part? Good question, because it was, number one, it was very, very early after the stream. So it was not, it hadn't been on there for that long. Number one, that's the big thing. So it wasn't 100% fully cured, thankfully. The other thing was that I used the chisel blade, the Olfa chisel blade, and I just got underneath of the thing and just started lifting up. Just scraped it down and lifted, and it just, basically this just, ran across the surface of the arm and everything. It made pretty quick work of it. All right, that's still pliable. We don't want to mess with that yet. But yeah, it wasn't really that hard. There were a couple stubborn spots, especially where I put down the kicker and everything like that. But it wasn't all that hard. Number three at this point, you have to remember is that super glue is not necessarily a solvent. It is simply an adhesive. So it just basically sits on top, right? it just, adheres the two pieces together. It doesn't necessarily melt the pieces together. Now, if it was fully cured after, a little while longer, then I probably would have had a harder time with it. But since it wasn't 100% fully cured, that made the job a lot easier. So I acted kind of quickly. Yeah. Handren says, yeah, how did you take that plot plate off? Yep. Geo, what paints? There we go. What paints were they? Gloss black and hyper aluminum. From what brands and with what thinners did you top coat the metallic or not? Yeah. He says, I tried all clad chrome. Ugh. Came out like crap. So for the first time ever, am repainting the veneers. Yeah. All clad is not great. It's hit and miss at best. Because some of their lacquers are actually enamels. And it's very, very, it's very hit and miss, like I said. So I stay away from Alclad, 100%. I stay away from them. Magnet Sim, always magnets for the fuel tanks. They wouldn't fit in, this not a good application for magnets. I don't need them removable. You know what I mean? Oh, my dryer's done. Yay. So I don't need them removable. So yeah, magnets are just not a great use case for this type of thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna drill a hole, glue them in, call it a day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Bill says, Julius, it was attached with super glue, which is fortunate since that is easier to remove. Yep, see, exactly. Than plastic cement or plastic magic, which would cause them to melt together. Yeah. And then also Bill says, Alclad? Oh yeah, Alclad metals are Jesus Christ, get out of my head, Bill. And I think they have an issue with being top coated. Yeah. Let's see. Colin, Mr. Hi, Craig. Evening, everyone. Panel lining tonight. Almost Mecha Decal time. Heyo. Yes, sir. All right, hang on. I gotta stop my dryer or else it'll chime every few minutes. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Jesus. Yeah, it'll do a little song thing every few minutes until you go over there and do something about it. So rather than have it go crazy the whole time, I'd fucking just walk over there. Anyway, Brian, he answered the question of the day. He says, I've become very hypercritical over anything involving quality. Work, skill, concepts, and has made me view life not as simple as it is, but in a good way to always seek more than the standard. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it. Andrew says yes on these arms. I don't know about vents on there, honestly. We'll figure it out. I don't know. He means the boom arm. There you go. Kelvin's with us. Yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot. Huh. So, hello, Mecha Army. Hello, Mecha Army. Oops, sorry, I was reading a book on quantum physics upside down and backwards. Just turned off my genius switch. Dual personality, so hello, Mecha Army. Oh, man. Kelvin always has the good intros, man. Let's see. Gio says, I had a bottle of Finiture's Hyper Silver. It looks like the picture I posted, so I figured just had thinner. I did, and it didn't work. I think the airbrush was having trouble spraying it. Yeah, Gio, you know, the thing is here, buddy, is I think what you're experiencing, number one, all Clad's kind of crap. It just, it just is. Um, and then after that, you seem to be mixing a lot of different brands. Um, so my best suggestion would be to try to limit brand migration. You know, try to keep it all in one under one, you know, kind of company umbrella, if you will. So if you're going to use, you know, Mr. Color, try to just stick with like Mr. Color, maybe Tamiya, SMS, things like that. Things that, you know, we know work well together at that point. Tamiya is definitely, or Alclad is definitely doo-doo. But yeah, it just seems like you're mixing and matching a lot of different brands, and that's I think throwing some issues into the mix. It's just my guess, you know. That's just my guess. Todd says hello. What's going on, Todd? Good to see you. Pete, Mr. Almanacs, greetings, model citizens. What's going on, Petey? Brian says, hey, okay, hope you're doing well. Who are we? I don't know who you, I don't know who Brian was talking to. Sorry. Oh, Matt Havoc. Okay, so, to Todd, yeah. So, still in pain, but trying to get by. It sucks. Bill says, take your time, man. Let your body recover naturally as much as possible. Yeah. So, the boom arm is also a claw plate arm. Hey. Todd says, pretty much. He says, I mean, I can move my arm. It's just mostly nerve and muscular pain that shifts. Ooh, not great. Brian says it takes time to recover from anything. I had to deal with a hip problem for a few years due to a sports injury. I felt funny walking for so long. Luckily, a bit of weight loss and physical therapy helped. Nice. Let's see. Burke says different brands mixed together differently, especially with the style of different thinners. Right. Absolutely. Let's see. Tamiya is great because you can use isopropyl alcohol to clean it and thin it. It also works really, really well with Mr. Hobby. Like if you use Mr. Color leveling thinner with Tamiya, you can pretty much interchange colors at that point. I would never, ever, ever mix the two to get like a custom color or anything like that. But in terms of paint application on the same piece, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Hendren says Tim is not in the mood for the plot references, it seems. No, we're kind of, I know you've been away for a little bit, Hendren, but it's kind of, it's coarse, I'll be honest with you. And it's just like, you know, because everybody was fucking doing it, and it was just like every 5 minutes, just bang, 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 you know. So, yeah, it's one of those things, dude. The joke kind of ran its course. It got overplayed, you know what I mean? So, Todd says, but my back is worse due to something that happened to me when I was 11 and 15. That's why I might have to have neck surgery. Ooh, not good, not good. Le Tamiya, is that French? If you spray it and it doesn't come out well, so we'll wipe off so cleanly if it's not even funny, then you can even thin it with ISO. Burke, I'm sorry, buddy, you kind of lost me with that one. It kind of went all over the place. I'm so sorry. Bill says my advice on those paints is please test spray. Yes, 100%. Please spray on plastic spoons. Not only do you see how it looks, but also you can work out issues before it can mess up your build. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Burke says Tamiya with Mr. Leveling Thinner is amazing too. Mr. Leveling Thinner just harder to get sometimes. Can be. Handren, ha 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 ha. Let's see. Geo says I have a lot of paint bottles that look like the one I posted. That's why I was surprised when you said you have paints that are years old. Oh yeah, yeah, years and years. The Tamiya, especially, these big ones are probably from early mid 2000s. These bigger ones, right? For reference, this is your standard size, you know, your 10 milliliter, and then this is, what is this, 30, I think? 23 mil. So yeah, and these big ones, yeah, these big ones have, yeah, you can see there's hardly any actual liquid in that, right? Now, I probably used this one. Yeah, it looks like I've used this one, actually, so that's not a great example. But this one, okay, this one's a little bit better, yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, so... Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not coming off. That one's not coming off. But yeah, you can kind of see the level of liquid in there, right? So, yeah. But this, shit, I probably got these big ones because I bought a lot of these big ones online. I think from a clearance sale on a old Gundam website. Might have been GundamShop.com or something like that back in the day when they went out of business. But yeah, I mean, these are probably from 2005-ish. So potentially these are 20 years old. And, you know, like I said, you can see they're still good. They're still plenty good. And I got a stack of the big ones too. Stack of them. So yeah, look at that. You can see the pigment all the way up there, right? Let's see if I can actually open this one. Yeah. Oh. I worked with this one. Yeah. I worked with that one. So that's why. That's why. Oh yeah, because of the X. Because I already thinned that one down. But let's see if I can find one that I haven't touched. Let's see. Probably this flat brown. Yeah, probably. I don't think I've ever worked with a flat. Shit! Yeah, that ain't coming off. That ain't coming off. God bless America. Jeez, I think I've opened most of these here. All right, so here's a JA Gray XF14. Let's see if I can crack this guy open. Oh, well, that was easy. Yeah, and you can see it's chunky, right? It's chunky. Let's see what she looks like though. Yeah, where's here we go. Got my little mixing spatula. Oh yeah, see, look, she's still good. She's still good. It just needs a little mixing. Just a little mixing, a little TLC. We'll scrape the pigment off the sides here. we can always do. Come on. There it is. There it is. All right. Do my little bartender impersonation here. Yeah, and there she goes. And like I said, that paint's probably around 20 years old. Still good. Still perfectly fine. 100% workable. All right, so clean off the little paint spatula here. Yeah, look at that. Just needs to be thinned correctly, but there you go. That's a very, very nice light green. It's called JA Gray. Yeah, right there, XF14, JA Gray. But it's like a light gray with a green tinge to it. Probably a good color for, say, you know, if you wanted to try and achieve like the color of the GMs from like the anime, might be a good starting off point. But yeah, so these are 20 years old, and they're still perfectly fine. 100% out of the gate, right? And like here's yeah, here's flat white. Let's see. Yep. All right, that cracks pretty good. Yeah, same thing. You know, all the pigment has obviously settled to the bottom. But as you can see, and I think actually I might have worked with this bottle because there's paint around the rim and everything. So probably, yeah, I probably worked with this at some point in the past. But yeah, so these paints are perfectly fine, perfectly good. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. So, you know, you got your like neon crazy green here. I've probably had this for at least 10 years. Probably from when my local hobby store closed up or something like that. And yeah, you can see that the carrier is still in there. Yeah. Paints don't easily go bad. You know, paints do not easily go bad. If you tend to have paints dry out, chances are either the caps aren't screwed on properly, or there's too much paint around the threads of the cap. Get in there. And it's causing the paint, it's causing the cap to have, you know, not be airtight and everything. Now this, what is this? Oh yeah, this is a whole lot of Gaia that I inherited from the guy that I got all the other tools and stuff from. So this should be interesting, some of these colors here. So yeah, not bad. I'm honestly, I'm not too into Gaia, but you know, because I'm more of a Mr. Color kind of guy, if I'm being honest. But I'm still looking forward to trying it. And the one paint brand that I kind of really liked while we're at it is good old Anchorette. They're obviously not around anymore, but man, they made some really kick-ass colors. And this paint is super, super concentrated. I mean, look at that color. Tell me that's not an awesome color. as like a secondary or something like that. That is just freaking cool, man. Oh, damn. Damn seal. Alright, I'm not going to dick with that. Because then I'll get paint everywhere, and it's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. So, there's that. But, yeah, I mean, you got your kind of light cobalt. I mean, look at this. This is a awesome color, too. Look at that. That's crazy. So these were really, really great colors. I kind of wish Anchoret stuck around, but, you know, it was not meant to be, unfortunately. This kind of dark blue navy is awesome, too. Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's a killer. That's a killer color right there. On a, like an Easy 8 or something like that, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. But, and this will be the last one I show you, but the dark red, super nice. I mean, you can see the pigment is, you know, separated and everything, but man, that's a nice look there too. So, yeah. Bought a bunch of these back in the day, obviously. So, yeah. Anyway, enough on what is on Tim's paint. What's in Tim's paint cabinet? All right, close that up. Good deal. All right, let's get caught up. Let's see. Henry says it was funny at the time, the plot jokes. Yeah. He's desensitized. Just wait a few weeks, right? We plated the plot too hard. It broke the scale. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. We could always make nub jokes next, right? Nubs of freedom. There. Gio says that's why I stopped buying paints, because they look clunky or chunky or something. Brian says someone didn't eat their Wheaties today, I see. Yeah, well, I don't know. That thing was on tight. Bill says recovering old paints depends on how they were stored and what kind of chemicals they use in it. Acrylics have compounds to help them survive a certain number of freezes. They are very hard. Yeah. Thankfully, I mean, I haven't stored my paints anywhere but, like, inside, thankfully. So, they have always been in, you know, a good climate. So, Todd says, I think I'll be ordering some more paint markers again soon. Burke says, ISO will clean off Tamiya cleanly without hurting the plastic. Actually, yeah. I was going to say something, but then rethought, and no, you're absolutely right. Mikey Dawson, he's with us. He says, hello, just got home from work. Mikey, that's a long day, buddy. Todd says, especially for my Zaku Warrior. There you go. Bill says to fix after they are frozen too many times. Now, if they just dry out, solvent-based thinners will remelt the pigment, and it should be okay. Yeah, and I've done that plenty of times with like Mr. Leveling Thinner. Like completely dried out pucks of paint at the bottom of a jar, brought it back, and it's just perfect. Brian says, just kidding, how to use a crowbar on a gallon lid of marinara once. Stuck bottles are the worst. Yeah, man, because they'll tear up your palm like it's nothing, right? Hit the cap several times lightly. They should loosen up. Yeah, I'm just not going to worry about it right now, though. So, Burke says, you know, Tim, there is a tool that is sometimes on your desk for stuck bottle caps. There is, if it actually fit said caps. Yeah, these are the big bottles. say that it doesn't, it's just not gonna fit. You know what I'm saying? But with the smaller 10 mil, see? But the bigger ones, yeah, they're unfortunately they don't have a cap wrench like that. It's unfortunate. Let's see. Bill says I have some acrylic-based paint that froze too many times. Nothing worked on making it usable again. Oof. Yeah, if they freeze, they're pretty much done. Yeah. Todd says I think that's the color I need for the Zaku Warrior. Oh, that JA Gray or whatever. Yeah, he says wonder what color it is then. JA Gray XF14, I think it was, something like that. Henry says Hyaku Shiki in that shade of green would look sweet. It could look interesting. Yeah, it could look interesting. What actually would kind of be cool? Two options. An Ifrit would look pretty cool in that color. Or imagine a Camphor in that light kind of green-gray color. That would kind of be sick, right? Todd says because I know I need to order a light green. Well, there you go. Swanky says a nice pistachio color. Pistachio green, Handren says. Yeah. Tamiya XF14. Gotcha. Japanese Army Gray. Yeah, JA Gray. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know what the JA stood for, but there you go. Brian says I love pistachios. Let's see. Todd says I think I'll order the Gundam Marker Xeon set. There you go. Gaia for the win. Holy Gaia. Yeah. Guy has a fantastic purple if you got it, Tim. I think I do. Oh, God. Now you guys are going to have me dig into the Gaia colors and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So probably, is it this one? That's the virtual on, kind of a lighter lavender color. That's really, really nice, right? But I think I got another one in here somewhere. Ooh, talk about a good color. Oh, that's badass right there. Let me shake this shit out of this thing and see what this actually looks like. Because the pigments and everything's separated, so let's see if we can crack this guy open here. You son of a bitch. These damn seals. There. Try not to, oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice, dude. That's a super nice color. Nice and muted. Lower saturation. Yeah, I'm all about that. All about that. Let's see. And then we got the Nazca from Gaia. This is the Million Blue. That's kind of nice there too. Not gonna lie. It's a nice drab orange, mandarin orange. Yeah, I think that's all I got there. Star Bright Iron. There you go. There you go. But, yeah, I inherited all of these from the guy that I got the some of the other kits, some kits from, and that I got a bunch of the tools and stuff from as well. So, and then what is this? Evo Hobby Mio Evo Surfacer. So I got 2 bottles of that. So I'll give that a try at some point. Yeah. And then What else? Oh yeah, he actually gave me. He actually had some finishers as well. So, ow. So let's let's shit. While we're at it, let's go ahead and take a look at the finishers here. Why not? Get back in there. Get the fuck in there, you son of a bitch. There we go. Not a lot, but some. Let's see. Big giant bottle of pink surfacer. Heavy mechanical surfacer. Super heavy mechanical surfacer. Light mechanical surfacer. And what's this? Flat clear. So that'll come in handy. Gloss, black gloss base. And then what's this last one here? This is again heavy mechanical surfacer. So I don't know what any of those are. I'm not familiar with it. So finishers, pure black. What is this? Super fine green. That's a look at that. Look at how that's separated. That is crazy. I mean, look at the pigment lines. How that has separated. That's wild. That is wild. Foundation gray. Again, look at that. Look at that pigment separation. It's like a perfect gradient. It's so that's so crazy. Pure black again. What do we got here? Yoshimura red. That's kind of nice. Whew. That's a bright ass red. Pure black again. Never gonna use those. Superfine green. Lavender. Hey, look at that. That's actually kind of nice. I dig that. And then what do we got here? Foundation white. So that's all the finishers and everything that I got. So yeah. Oh, and then I take that back. Hang on. Get up here. Put this shit back here. So much crap. I got, what are these? These are MK. I don't know what these are, but this thing, I got 3 boxes of this. I don't even know who this is by. Is this by Gaia? No, it's Moto. Okay, it's Moto. Okay, all right. So yeah, so you get your black base, you get your what is this? Super Chrome, right? And then you get your ultra clean gold clear coat, or clear paint, I should say, to spray over top of it, and yeah. So, interesting. And then you also get, look at this, you get like this, it's almost like gauze, but I'm sure it's to buff out the, you know, the paints and everything. So, interesting. But, yeah. So, I got like 3 boxes of this. I don't know when or if I'm ever going to use that, but it's, I got it. I got it. So, yeah. And then I've got a ton of other miscellaneous paint and shit like that up there, and I'm not going to deal with it right now. Anywho, let's see. Hinder says, I believe Gaia is stronger than Mr. Color when it comes to durability. Brian says, that looks like it'll stain your skin for a bit. Right? Gio says, Robot Kai still makes those paints under their own brand. Oh, interesting. The Anchorette. Huh. Bill says, really? Let me take a look. Gundam XS Blue. Noise. Geo says, don't worry. I still have XC and Ashtray jokes. Nice. Hendred says, Tim is like, let's stop this bullshit, kids. Get off my fucking lawn, damn it. Yeah, basically that. Mikey says, I'll be using SMS paints for my Perfect Grade New project. Just need to decide on the blue colors. That's a good choice. SMS are great. SMS are really, really good. Bill says, yeah. Geo says, that's why now I'm sticking to Mr. Color, Tamiya, Gaia, Finishers, Paints in that order. There you go. See, and you can't really go wrong, especially with Mr. Color. In my experience, their whole ecosystem is just damn near bulletproof, if I'm being honest. I've never had any bad reactions or anything like that with Mr. Color, or Tamiya for that matter. Both are just really just rock solid. Both of their ecosystems are great. And like I said, if you mix Tamiya with Mr. Color or Mr. Leveling Thinner, it takes on pretty much all of the characteristics of a Mr. Color paint. The durability, the speed and cure time, the lack of reaction to other, types of things like clear coat or, any other, types of materials that you may put on it, like, like lighter fluid, or if you're doing like weathering or anything like that. Man, it's just, they're great. They're great. Burke says, oh, dang, my Tamiya masking tape residue on my paint job. Boo. Wait, what? Tamiya masking tape left residue? Say what now? Say what? Burke says, question.
We have a question.
Tim, have you tried SMS yet? Been thinking about trying them out. I have, yes. And I do have some that Scotty sent me back in the day. Oh, come on now. Let's get the... Ah, you fuck. There we go. It's under the Tamiya bin here. Shit. Fuck me. Okay. So this is the Frankenstein box. Let's see. Close that so I don't hit my head. Yeah, there we go. SMS, the teal. Look at that. You have no idea how hard it is to find an actual teal color like this in hobby paint. It's virtually impossible until Scotty came and just fucking killed it with this. So yeah, nice big bottle. What is it? 30 mil? Yeah, 30 milliliters. So a nice big bottle. Bigger than the big jars of Tamiya, which is nice. They are pre-thinned. And then he also sent me purple. Really, really nice there. What else did he send me? Black. And... ooh, he sent me... he sent me one of these chameleon colors. The blue-purple, right? Oh, look at that. It's like a color shift, right? That is freaking awesome. But look at the amount of pigment. There's hardly any pigment in here as opposed to the carrier. The carrier is up to here. That's all the pigment. That's it. That's literally it. Let me see if I can shake this up. It's getting there. It's getting there. White. Super silver. Again, look at the level of pigment. That just shows you that it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. All right. All right, cool. So we're breaking through on the bottom here. So that means the pigment is coming up off the bottom and mixing in. There we go. That's better. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Just that little amount of pigment causes that. That is such a cool color. Look at that. That color shift and everything. Yeah, they're great. They're great paints. I have no complaints at all. None whatsoever. But this shit here, booty cheeks. Absolute booty cheeks. As my daughter would say. Booty cheeks. They're terrible. So, oh, and you guys do know that you can use nail polish, right? But you got to make sure it's the lacquer kind of nail polish. This was a cool color that I tried, and it actually worked pretty decent. They're expensive, but if you find a color that you like, give it a sniff. If it smells like, you know, nasty lacquer, then yeah, you should be good to go. That's a shame. Look at that. That's copper. Or at least it was copper before it oxidized. It's not a big deal. It's all clad, so it's like never would have used it anyway. But yeah. And then another good paint that I kind of dig is this this splash paint. They've got some really cool colors. 30 milliliters, pre-thinned, pretty decent. All things considered, pretty decent. What is this? This is Bahama Yellow. Yeah. And oh yeah, it actually comes. You can hear it. It actually comes with the marble inside. So that's kind of a nice little. Now, mind you, they're plastic bottles, so yeah, that's a nice yellow, Bahama Yellow, made in look at that, made in Oregon, boom, made in Portland, Oregon, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, and I got a few of these from Splash Paints, and they looked pretty cool. All things considered, they look pretty cool. So yeah, give them a shot one day. So anywho, but that's my Frankenstein bin. A little bit of everything in there. So yeah. Anywho, Bill said, okay, just found out AOK Silver Oak paint is essentially the same as Anchoret. They are made by the same company and have the same or nearly same compounds in them. There you go. All right, good deal. I just like the Anchoret packaging. I'm a stickler for good packaging. So, Bill says not a fan of Nazca paints. Nazca primers are awesome, Handren says. Bill says never tried Nazca primers, but the paints are not my favorite. Those are different shades of primer and can be used as paint as well. Okay, cool. Hey, you can always do a giveaway on the paints you're never going to use. Maybe. Bill says I use a lot of SMS paints. Nice for being pre-thin, so easy. Yeah. Hannah says that's by Moto. Gio says those Nazca light, heavy, and super heavy, they are supposed to be paints that don't need primer. Interesting. Burke says the only paints I've ever had that I can shake and spray was Badger primers. Seen a lot of good things about SMS. Yeah, SMS is good. SMS is real good. Bill says to Burke, if you want to try some, I can get you a bottle to try. I got plenty. He says, I'd love to be honest. I'd happy do a trade. Swanky's got a question.
We have a question.
Oh, question for everybody. What do you use to paint? Mostly Mr. Color. And if we're talking about paints. Oh, brush or airbrush. Oh, airbrush. Yeah. 100% airbrush. I am masochistic in that regard, because ooh yeah, those are getting set up pretty good there. These pieces. Yeah, we'll give those. We'll get caught up and then we'll go back to that. Yeah, airbrush the whole thing. I mask off every little itty bitty bit, yeah, I don't fuck around. I always airbrush. No brush, no hand brush. Bill says sure thing. Any color palette you need or want to try? Bill says, are you asking for paint, thinner, airbrush? Yeah. Henry says I use both, depending on the surface and size. I know that's got to be a typo. I just don't know what you're trying to say there, Sandrin. Let's see. Burke says, yeah, man, I don't know why or how. He says I kind of use everything for different things. Bill says. Swanky says I'm not sure how you go on applying the paint. Do you use a brush? So yeah, I mean, you can definitely use a brush, you know, if you're hand painting, obviously. Yeah, so get you a good quality brush. This is a cheap shit brush that I bought at Michael's or some crap, you know, Craft Smart, horse shit, whatever. SMS. Scotty has some decent brushes. So, if you are buying any SMS, maybe take a look at that. But I don't know about brushes. I don't hand brush at all. But yes, you can absolutely brush on your paint there, Swanky. 100%. Todd says, I got a nub joke. Who? He says, why did the nub go to the baker shop? Sorry, barber shop. To get a shave. Todd, my boy. That was awful. Just bad. Such a bad joke. So, with that being said, stop that shit! You bad joke! Bad joke! Stop it, stop it, stop it! There. Oh, man. Anywho. Oh, my. Okay, so Mikey says, I'm thinking on SMS Blue Angels Blue paired with Insignia Blue, or using SMS Void, which is a deep blue and black color flip. There's a lot to process there, Mikey. You kind of lost me there, bud. Me personally, if you're talking about like the chest parts of the new, and like the calves, the darker parts, dude, just go with a super dark gray. You can't beat it. It's such a nice look. Just saying. That's my take on it. Let's see. Burke says, to Bill, I use a lot of reds and blacks right now, but anything will do, especially a primer. Lately, my airbrush have been just freaking out on primers last couple weeks. Hendren says, detailing if you don't want to mask like Tim, then enamel hand brushing is ideal. True. Free the nub. There you go. Gio says, I found out that the residue left behind by Tamiya paint is one of two things. Residue? Bill says, Tim, check out the supposedly essential for Anchoret paints. Let's scroll back up and clicky. Where is it? Gundam Shop. Okay. Or Gundam Pros. Clicky. What do we got? Oh. Ooh. Look at some of these colors. These are nice. Yeah. Some of these are pretty nice. Kind of like that orange color. Look at this, you guys. This is kind of nice. Yeah, here, let's go. Oh, yeah. See, look. Is that? Yeah. It's a nice kind of light orange. I do like that. And just for my own statement here, the Anchoret packaging was so much better than this. This is just fucking mid, honestly. But it is what it is. Yeah, see, look at that. They don't have like that kind of purplish color or anything. It's a decent green. It's not bad. Is that all they got? Yeah. So, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Anyway. Life Death is with us. What's going on, Dallas? Good to see you, buddy. He says, hey, brother Handren. Gio says, first, if you use Tamiya paint, you always have to gloss coat 100% of the time. Huh? Who says that? I don't know. Anyway, Hannah says on tonight's Tim's Corner, we have paint. I hear Amber and Simon. Hello.
Are you streaming right now?
I am streaming right now. Come on through. Oh, of course she has you carrying all of her stuff.
She literally asked, like, are you gonna carry stuff? Or...
No, I didn't ask that. He offered. He said, give me your bag. Give me your bag. Give me your bag.
Aw.
Hey, stream.
Simon says, hey, stream. Say hi, you guys.
Not you.
Wow. The look. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Warm
Oh, yeah, it is warm outside.
She's in the room with us.
All right, you guys go have fun. I'll make food after the stream, yeah? All right. Julia says hello, Amber and Simon. They say hi. Anyway. Let's see. Burke says, I've never had it happen before, ever. Mr. Color Primer, 48-hour wait. Tamiya thinned with Mr. Leveling Thinner, 48-hour wait. Put the tape on last night. Sprayed, and it left something. That's weird. Yeah. Huh. Let's see, Burke. Sorry, I don't have any SMS primers. What about some teal? I think I have like 5 bottles of teal. That's a good color. Gio says, second, the gloss coat didn't cure and is not residue, is masking tape marking the top coat. Burke says, yeah, teal, really any color will do for a test. There you go. Henry says, give them paints away, damn it, if you ain't gonna use them. Somebody gonna use them, why let them go to waste? I might use them, I don't know. Bill says, love splash paints, same glass bottles as SMS, and they are made in the US. I don't know, the ones I have are plastic, and they got a little, marble in them. Yeah. Bill says, plastic? Mine from Splash have always been in the same glass bottles as SMS. I don't know. Yeah. I got glass. I don't know. Or I got plastic. Let's see. Burke says, used to me all the time. Never had it. Kind of weird. This piece been trouble for a week. Should just strip it at this point. Probably. Dallas says, remember everyone, Gunpla is freedom, as is Pla Plate. There you go. Almanacs, Mr. Pete, this is a question. He says, have any of you tried any of the Barbados Rex paints? Blech. No, I haven't, personally. And I probably will never, because he's associated with Gallery, whatever, and guilt by association, so I'm not. Nah. You are who you associate with. So that's kind of the way I take things. And I'm just like, nah, son. Nah. Henry says, Dallas Tim has moved on from them childish jokes. He says, LOL, are you sure? Almanac said the puke word. Nice. Swanky, haha, LOL. There we go. Everybody was laughing at the Todd beatdown. Yeah. Julia says, since we were talking about paint, has anyone seen a U.S. store that carries the Mr. Color Ash and Machine paint line? I've never heard of them. Might be new. I've looked everywhere with no luck. I found them in Australia but couldn't bring them. Yeah, import rules and shit. Sorry, had to throw that in. Todd, it's all good, buddy. The Pla Whip. Free the nub. Or the nub of freedom. Bill says, on the subject of brushes, try to find some real Kolinsky brushes. They can be hard to find in some places. I guess they're good. I don't know. Henry says, Tim, another t-shirt idea for the shop. Have a nipper cutting nubs off, and at the bottom of it says, nubs are freedom. Oh, God. Dallas, I'm always coming in hot with the best ideas. Yeah. Todd says, speaking of nubs, I'm waiting on that Olfa blade to come in. Nice. No, free the nubs. There you go. Let's see. Petey's back. Everybody's saying hi to Amber and Simon. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Gio, he says, I was answering the question about Tamiya tape. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Gio. Brian says, Tim's future Gunpla assistant and Amber. Right, they're about ready to go off to college. Basically in 6 weeks. No, actually 5 weeks now. Holy shit, man. So, and then after that, I'm moving. So he may not be my assistant. I don't know. Dairy Defender, he's over there on Twitch. He says, hey man, just dropping by. What's going on, dude? Double D, Dairy Defender. I like that. There you go. Henry says, Tim, your views on that whole Gallery has me thinking, if they are so bad, how come a lot of people are using them without a problem? Because their quality is very much hit and miss, plain and simple. When they first came out, they did a spray and pray marketing tactic, and they just basically sent free product to people. You know, those people are you know, basically going to cream their jeans because they got something free in the mail. Oh, hi. No.
Not once but twice.
Where?
Upstairs on the carpet in the stairs. Like on the stairs.
It must have happened just recently because it wasn't before I started streaming.
Simon got upstairs and saw them, and it's two.
Can you get some toilet paper, pick them up, and just flush them down the toilet? And then smack the shit out of her. Rubber, like put her face right up against it and smack the crap out of her. Because I did that earlier. Stupid cat. Well, she needs it because she's a dumbass. She did miss you. You fat fuck! You're a terrible cat. And I can't wait to get rid of you.
You're never getting rid of her.
Anybody want a cat? A fat one? That's stupid?
She loves attention.
She needs attention. You porker. Anyway. Alright. Yeah, if you can clean that up for me, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyway. So Gallery, however you pronounce their stupid name. They did a spray and pray marketing blitz when they first came out. They just sent free product to everybody, and you know, like I said, they're gonna cream their pants if they, you know, when they get free product and shit. And you know, Barbados Rex has his little gallery brush or whatever, and they're like, oh. So, I've seen many people, especially high-level airbrushers from other genres, do spray outs and testing and everything, and some of the ones that are out there are complete shit. So, yeah. And the company's shady as fuck, so fuck Gallery. My 2 cents, anyways. Let's see. Burke says, also Kolinsky or even horse brushes can be flagged by U.S. Customs, specifically the Game, Fish, and Wildlife Division. Holy shit. Todd says, my internet just went out. Thank God for data. There you go. Pete says, well, guess I have to find another stream to watch if that is the prevailing opinion. I am not paid by anyone, but all airbrushes and compressors are from Gallery, and I love them. What's up? Yeah, I mean, if you like them, I'm not gonna dig on you, Pete. Honestly, I just don't like that company at all. Henry says, I even seen some high-level Japanese modelers use them. Yeah, because I mean they're the new shiny thing right now, you know, and you know they may want to give them a try, right? Shit, who for all we know, Gallery might have sent them to them. But what I know about Gallery is they're shady as fuck. And like I said before, you are who you associate with. You know what I mean? And they associated with G Studio or whatever. And yeah, I mean, they're in the same category as New Type. Fuck them both. Shady as fuck. So, that's my opinion. I don't need you guys to agree with me. I don't need you to, you know, throw away your Gallery airbrushes or anything like that. I'm just letting you know how I feel. I say fuck them. So, Derry says, not much healing from a thigh injury. Holy shit. Having to stay in bed for about a week. Oh my God, dude. Rest up, dude. That's crazy. Gio says, don't use Kolinsky brushes with enamel or lacquer paints. Those are strictly for acrylic paints. Only water-side bade paint. I don't know. They're expensive and enamel lacquers will ruin them. Oh, geez. Okay. Okay. Oh, look, there is your ash and metal. Hey, there you go. And I bought all my stuff myself. Well, see, there you go. Cat poop. Yeah. Fucking fat ass cat. Bill says, I know some sneak through, but this stream isn't only in the US. Yeah. Burke says there is a lot of times a company will sell in bulk Rex Gallery or rebranded items and generally charge more for just the name. I don't know. I don't know if they are rebranded or not, because they talk about proprietary designs and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let's see. Burke says, just like when Vallejo did their airbrush paint sets, the airbrushes are Harder Steenbeck's rebranded. Yeah, way more reputable. Bill says, Julius, I posted a link a minute ago with the paint you wanted. There you go. Cat poop is freedom. Jesus Christ. Bill says, I know just saying U.S. Customs can hold your paint brushes, and it's surprising when you get a notice from Wildlife Division. Yeah, I would say so, right? Mikey says, I have one of their airbrushes, but haven't used it yet. I may have to get a new one since it is lost in the void. That is my storage unit. Yeah, dude. Iwata, Badger, Mr. Hobby, the Procon Boy, I've heard nothing but good things about. Harder Steenbeck, all reputable companies. Yeah, without a shady past or shady associations, why not? Bill says, yeah, that's why I didn't link any, because they do get flagged in some countries. Gotcha. Swanky says, can I see which one you used, Tim? Abso-freaking-lutely, Swanky. Let me get it here for you, bud. Here you go. Now, the one thing to know about your boy is that I am a bit of a unicorn when it comes to airbrushes. The reason why I say that is because I use a siphon feed. I do not use a gravity feed for my main airbrush. This is the Iwata Eclipse HP BCS, made in Japan. I bought this thing, I want to say around 2004-ish. And the only part that I have ever had to replace on this thing was the nozzle that became, that basically it bell-ended just from years and years of the needle, you know, hitting it and expanding and everything. So yeah, the only part that I've ever had to change is this nozzle here. That's it. The O-rings are all original, going on, 20 some odd years old. Everything on this airbrush, including the needle, is original other than the nozzle. This thing is a tank. And I swear to you, Iwata just makes really good, solid, reliable airbrushes that work, that they just work. You can find parts very easily for these. I think pretty much any art store that sells airbrushes, Hobby Lobbies, things like that, you can get. Now, I prefer, like I said, a siphon feed. That's just kind of how I came up, and that's what I'm used to. Gravity feeds, a lot of people like better than siphon feed. And I don't know if a lot of the reasons that they give are valid. The reason why I use a siphon feed is, number one, I have a system that is very, very easy. And let me show you here real quick. Let me get this big ass thing out the way. So let's see. Let me get you a couple of these here and I'll show you. You can get what are called fast caps. And you can get extra bottles and everything like that on Amazon very, very inexpensively, right? Here is the bottle, one of the bottles that you can use. Now this one has a plastic straw, whatever, tube, and it just goes right in there. You got your paint, spray it out, take that out of there. I'll have generally another bottle with alcohol in there, pop that in there, spray that for a few seconds, I'm on to the next color. It's that easy. It's super, super quick. I am changing colors literally in like 5-10 seconds. So you can also, the really cool thing is that these fast caps, these are from Badger. You can get these, I think, 10, 12 of them at a time. Oh no, that's the bottles. Two of you can get, I think these come in 2 packs for like $3-4, something like that. But the cool thing is they fit perfectly on an empty Mr. Color jar. So this is just an old, Mr. Color jar that I used all the paint, stripped off the sticker and everything. This fits perfectly on there, and then right in there, boom. So what I do is you can take the jar itself, thin it down inside the jar if you have enough room in there, pop the cap on here, spray, cap it back, you're on to the next color. You're not dirtying up another jar, you're not wasting paint or anything like that. It's super, super efficient. And like I said, I've got a shit ton of them. And the other kind of cool thing is that I've actually in the past made my own fast cap. And let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, here we go. So this is kind of a Frankenstein's monster, right? So with one of these big ass bottles of Tamiya, these 23 mil big bottles, I took one of the empty caps and drilled out, a hole for the tube assembly and everything, and then drilled out some, some venting holes, right? So I'll thin these, pop this on there, pop that in there, and I'm going to town and I'm spraying, right? Very, very simple to do, very, very easy, very effective, very efficient in my workflow. Now, the thing to keep in mind is my workflow will not work for everybody, right? The folks that use gravity feeds, and mind you, I have a gravity feed. I have the, come here, you. I have the Iwata Neo, right? Which is a very, very, very solid and good airbrush. And then I also, well, this was more of a gift from my friends at Otaku ME. But this is one of the Wave airbrushes, and as you can see, I've never taken it out of the package because honestly, I just like the kind of nostalgia, the memory of it, getting it from, you know, the good folks at Otaku ME when I went over there to judge and everything. So I keep it in the packaging. It's more of a memory thing for me. But the gravity feeds do have one kind of distinct advantage over the siphon feed, right? The siphon feed, you do have to use a slightly higher pressure on your air compressor. I usually go about 18 to 20 psi, which, you know, is a few psi over on what you would need, say, for the Neo here, right? And like I said, this is a solid airbrush. This is a tank as well. It's the same Iwata quality. You know, you've got your bowl in there. You can swap the different sizes. You got the big one, you got your little one in here. Everything basically is the same type of setup here. You know, you got your needle and your, you know, trigger assembly and everything. Very, very nice airbrush. $50 ish right now, I believe, for this. A solid starter airbrush. And I always recommend this for beginners. 100% out of the gates. Your Eclipse is going to run you probably 125, 150-ish, something like that. But the Neo, if you're just starting out and you want to learn, this is the way to go, man. Inexpensive, bulletproof, just, you can't lose with the Iwata Neo, in my opinion. Now, like I was going to say, the one distinct advantage is that you can use lower PSI with this, and what that gets you is the ability to do more subtle gradients in terms of paint jobs and stuff. I don't do gradients, so I don't really give a shit about that, right? I just do solid colors. I lay down primer. I don't do, you know, any pre-shading or anything like that. Again, that's my workflow, and that doesn't work for everyone. So you have to keep that in mind. That is very, very important. So that's why I always kind of recommend the Neo for people. You know, like I said, I'm just more of a kind of a solid color type of painter, and then I'll do kind of the fancy shit after that, you know, with the Tamiya weathering sets, or, you know, chips or something like that. I don't get deep into the woods in terms of fancy painting or anything. That's just not my style. So you kind of have to think about where you want your style to go and go from there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, long answer to a very short question. So sorry about that. Gio says, I bought 2 sets of Kolinsky brushes with Citadel and Vallejo paints. Those brushes are good. I got those brushes to paint 40K figures. There you go. Also, Harder Steenbeck directly sells their Galeri airbrushes, which is also funny. Really? That's kind of fucked up, but yeah. I never heard that. Dairy Defender over there on Twitch, he says, I use a TimberTech compressor with an Iwata airbrush. There you go. He says, haven't been able to airbrush in a while, but I love my setup. Yeah, and that's the thing. if your setup, hang on, your setup has to work for you, and your setup has to fit your workflow. You know what I'm saying? It has to fit your style, right? And that's why there's such a variety of different ones out there. So for me personally, and how I work and how I paint and what I do, my siphon feed is the way to go for me, right? But for a lot of people that want to get a little bit more creative and kind of crazy with paint jobs, yeah, absolutely, go gravity feed. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just two different styles, and each one has their pros and cons. For me and my workflow, a siphon feed is just a lot better for me individually. So, yeah. But yes, like Dairy Defender said, you have to love your own setup. You have to. Let's see. Burke says, I just mean when they get shipped, imported, not a bad thing, just took me by surprise. They're just like on their brushes, let them go. Gotcha. Dallas says, I'll stick with my Awada airbrush. Yeah, me too. Although, I have never heard a bad word about the Procon Boy airbrushes from Mr. Hobby. I've never heard a bad word. I've only ever heard good things about the Procon Boys, which is kind of got me tempted. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Bill says, if you can't get Kolinsky in your country, Red Sable is the second best option. There you go. A bad apple or two doesn't spoil the rest of it, in my opinion. And that's your opinion, buddy. I've seen so many bad apples, and that bunch just stinks from the orchard for me. There's too much there to just they're shit company, in my opinion. But again, that's my opinion. So, Burke says, I have to tear my Awada apart about once a week to really clean it. My Harder Steenbeck has been nice. Both of them, comparison, I probably just need a new Iwata or something. Fair. Julia says, thanks, Bill. I previously read reviews about that store, which made them seem unreliable. Tim, get to plastic cutting, my man. I need to see this build painted soon. I know, right? We're doing a lot of talking. And there's more. There's a lot more that, we got to get through here. So I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not doing much tonight, unfortunately. Bill says, okay, then I will keep looking. Burke says, I have that exact airbrush too. Hey, there we go. Kelvin says to Bill, yeah, also found Ash and Machine at 1001 Hobbies. There you go. Swanky says, what's the difference between gravity fed and the one you use? Oh, we already talked about that, so we're good there. Tim, it just works. Yeah. Iwata, it just works. Yeah. Let's see. Burke says he's not wrong. I just struggle with airbrushing in general. Always have, always will. Yeah. Hendren says gravity is more ideal, but more hassle to clean. Again, Hendren, that's your opinion, buddy. That's not facts. You can't just blanket that statement. It's because it's not right, He says siphon feed, it has to suck up the paint up with, sometimes slows down the airborne no, I don't. I've never experienced anything like that. Let's see. Brian says Swank, his siphon feed, his is siphon fed, so it sucks the paint from a paint reservoir attached from the bottom. Gravity is an open attachment located at the top, falls down only when you pull the trigger. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Todd says, well, I'm calling it a night. Got to be up early. I hope everyone has a good night. I'll catch the rest of the stream in the morning. Todd, take care, buddy. Take care, man. Let's see. Burke says, yeah, if you use acrylics like Vallejo, it gunks up the airbrush. There's also PSI adjustments sometimes where you have to run them higher, but with that, your tip dry gets worse. Yeah. Dairy Defender over there on Twitch, he says, I've only had 2 pieces on my airbrush break, and they were the nozzle and needle. And those are the first, basically the first 2, usually, right? The only reason it broke was because I randomly got lightheaded and the airbrush fell with me. Oh, shit. When the airbrush landed, the needle got forcefully pushed through the nozzle. Oh, yeah, that'll happen, right? Thankfully, there was no paint in the brush, and it was not hooked up to my compressor. Well, that's good, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the nozzle and needle are usually the first things that you have to, the first things you usually have to replace on an airbrush, and that's just normal. That's just wear and tear, yeah. Let's see. Swanky says that's an awesome setup. I think I'm going to copy you, Tim. Yeah, I mean, like I said, dude, if that fits what you think your workflow is going to be, by all means, by all means. You know, down the line, you may change your mind. Just saying. But yeah, what I would definitely say is don't spend a lot of money right out of the gate. You know. Learn on cheap shit first, and then kind of graduate to, you know, the higher price point stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Mint. Only reason they broke. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Double D. No problem. Berg says, alas, my airbrush issues are my own. Nobody else has consistent issues, whether it's your paint spraying chunks all the time, spider webs, no air, whatever it may be. I'm an outlier. I mean, there's always usually, you know, things that you can narrow down. So just takes a little work. Henry says, I love my Neo Trigger airbrush. Yeah, those are pretty good from what I've heard. Swanky says, wait, maybe I'll do that to start out. Oh, the Neo. Yeah, the Neo's, like I said, the Neo is a great fucking airbrush. Great fucking airbrush. It's just not my preference. Simple. Mike says, there's something satisfying about making perfect scribe lines. I know, random comment, but had to share. Oh, I agree with you, Mikey. I'm right there with you, bud. I'm right there with you. Swanky says, thanks, Tim. You really answered all my questions in one go. Hey, that's what I try. I try, man. Henry says, time to hit the hay. Be good people. Like you're going to listen to me anyways. LOL, haha, peace out. Yeah, true. We don't listen to nothing Hendren says. Not a damn thing. Get the fuck out of here. Go to bed. Nah, I'm fucking with you. Good night, Hendren. Take care, buddy. Anthony! He says, hi, Tim. Hello, everyone. Anthony, how the hell are you, buddy? Brian says, Moshi, what's up? Awesome GOG build, by the way. Word. Let's see. Pete says, I love my gallery, whatever, airbrushes to the extent that I have a set of 100% unique airbrushes where I bought a bunch of their 2025 limited sets for parts and scratch built my set of Morbius airbrushes. Holy shit, man. Okay. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, dude. Like I said, my opinion is they're just a shit company. They're very, very shady in terms of their practices and who they associate with. There's also a big question in terms of, you know, their business history and things like that as well. All of these receipts can be seen on at Wins Factor on Instagram. She has receipts for them, Justin, the G Studio dickhead, few other people, Don Serratos. Yeah, she's got receipts, receipts on receipts on receipts in her story archives and stuff. So yeah, you know, again, I'm I'm not saying that you have to agree with me, Pete. Not at all. If you like what you like, what is that? What is this? Unk alert. What the fuck is that? What is this, Gary? Unk alert? Okay. What the fuck, man? I have never seen that come up on YouTube before. Holy crap. Okay. Gary sent Unk alert for 440 joules? What the hell? Okay, I mean, that's cool. But I've never fucking seen that before. I don't even know what that is. Holy crap, dude. That's crazy. Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciated the Unk alert. Oh, shit. Let's see. Burke says, oh, Heider Steenbeck took them down. Aw, womp womp. Maybe they found out they were a shit company. Mikey says, oh, I forgot. I also have Disbay's cleanless airbrush. Not used it yet either, LOL. And it is also in my storage unit. Jesus, Mike, is everything in your storage unit? Ay, ay, ay. Pete says, even includes pistol grip, trigger, and siphon airbrushes. I mean, like I said, dude, if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. I'm not going to sway you on that one. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to state my opinion. That's literally it. Let's see. Anthony, my Procon boy, is the best airbrush I've ever used. See, that's what I'm talking about. But I am enjoying the gallery swallowtail I picked up also. Jesus. You guys. Swanky says, ever since I seen that one Toy Story scene as a kid, I wanted to try out airbrushing. It seems relaxing. Oh, restoring Woody. Yeah. And the dude airbrushing the bottom of his boot. I remember that. Holy shit, yeah. That's crazy. Dallas has a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, Tim, what will be the next stream project? Holy shit, I haven't even thought about that. That is so far off in the future, I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. that is TBD at this point. TBD. Let's see. Burke says the washless airbrush is very interesting and it works for primers. It's amazing. Interesting. I don't know what that is, but interesting. Let's see. Bill says, Julius, I'm not finding retailers in the U.S. as it is a niche line. I think Hobbytown USA will order it if you ask them to, but they don't routinely stock it. There you go. Brian says, I use a Neo for primer and a Pash for my colors. Ooh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants, with the Pash. That, Pache, however you pronounce it, is yeah, they've been around just as long as Iwata and Badger, and yeah, that's old school. I have a Pache air compressor, and it's lasted me. I bought it the same time I bought the Eclipse, so yeah, that long. 20-some years. 20-some years. Let's see. Anthony says, thanks, I'm not done with the GOG yet, but I did get the airbrushing done. Lots of detail and hand painting to come. Dude, post up, Anthony. Post some pictures in the community, man. Let's go. What is the gift things? Brian sent the gift, and it's a fucking running corgi in a Hawaiian shirt. Is everybody seeing this? I don't know what these jewels are. What are they? Now I'm going to have to look into this. Oh, boy. Brian says, also, Moshe, I was waiting for some more work. The grunge feel of the build is killer. Nice. Derry says, I'm just glad that more expensive parts didn't break. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And I'm glad you didn't hurt yourself, too. Shit. Anthony says, thanks, I filmed my next video of the painting. I just need to edit it. I edited it. I kind of cursed once, and I need to bleep that out maybe and get it all together. Don't bleep that out, dude. You stay on business. What is going on? Okay, what are these gifts? Sent happy poop for 10 jewels. What the fuck are these? LOL. Yeah, Brian, LOL, all the gifts. I don't know what they are. My God. Derry, oh shit, I'm sorry. My bad, Derry. My bad. I'm sorry. With my audience, the overwhelming majority, I'm talking about like 98, 99% are dudes. I just assume that. That is my fault. I will put that up here for the mental Rolodex. I am very sorry by that. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Anyway, we will make note of that. Let's see. Burke says, what are you looking for, Bill, that a lot of U.S. suppliers do not carry? Gary, Ayo, styrene sheets. Bill says, Julius is looking for some Mr. Hobby, Ash, and Machine line of paints. Anthony says, I posted new pics in the community, Tim. See? Anthony, good boy. See, that's the new one. That's the new one. If you do good, you get a head pat. Good boy, right? And if you do bad, yeah. There we go. Holy crap, man. So let's see here. Burke says, oh yeah, they're also harder to import because of chemical restrictions. Yeah, I got you. Look at this. What is this? Gary, sent Unk alert for 440 joules. What? What are joules? What are joules? I don't know what joules are. I have to look into this. Bill says, yeah, I figured that it might be part of it. Yeah, all right. Gary with the laugh. Anthony says, so live streams being watched on the phone can send gifts on YouTube now. It's only on the phone, though. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Bill sent happy poop for 10 joules. Happy poop. There we are. Fun. Happy poop. He could have sent this one. There you go, right? Burke says, so, yeah, so it's a thing. You have to have a special license from the government to get certain brands like Gaia Notes, SMS, Mr. Color. It's not a cheap thing. Shit. Mike says, yes, everything is in my storage unit. Oh, goddamn. Gary, haha, Bill, I would never, though, but. Let's see. Burke says, I did my Bandai Namco JP rep. Did ask about it a while back. It's also because you cannot put flammable items on airplanes, SMS Gaia, etc. Are all flammable. Yeah, they got to come over on the ship. Let's see. Anthony says, Tim, I feel the same way about the Swallowtail, but I wanted a cheap airbrush with a trigger grip to spray surfacer and metallics through with 0.5 needle, and that one was under $100, so I tried it. Yeah, I get it. And I can't fault anybody for that at all. There's no, and I'm not, mind you, guys, I'm not telling you that you, again, that you don't have to agree with me. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, except if, go buy, Mecha Decals and, the Chada Mecha Store, of course. But otherwise than that, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. It's just not. I'm not going to do it. You're all, fairly responsible adults, I think. And, yeah, do your thing. Like I said, I'm just going to tell you what I feel about certain things. That's it. Excuse me. Dairy Defender, she says, The local hobby town is my go-to Gunpla store. I love the people there, and it's very welcoming situation or location. Nice. A lot of them are. The ones in Virginia, especially, the 3 that are owned by the same folks, are absolutely amazing. Richmond, I think it was Richmond, I think Myrtle Beach, and one other, I think. I don't know, but yeah, they're awesome. I love those guys. I got to get down there again, but it's just Richmond's like 3 hours. It's a long way. Yeah, look at this. Brian sent Corgi for 1,000 jewels. He says you're welcome. Yeah, Corgi, a walking Corgi with a fucking Hawaiian shirt on. Like what? Gary says we're gifting you. Yes, we see it. Oh, I did. Okay. Gio says I bought a $20 airbrush from Amazon. Then I moved to Pash. I have 4 of those. Then I bought 4 Harder Steenbeck. Those I haven't used yet. Holy shit, Gio. How many airbrushes do you have, my man? Gary sent party blowers for 500 jewels. Swanky sent happy poop for 10 jewels. LOL, all the gifts. Yeah, right, Gary, all the gifts. Bill sent laughing disco for 250 jewels. Jeez. Dairy Defender. Oh, she came over to YouTube. Look at that. Decided to come over to the YouTube side. Twitch stream has a bit of latency. Oh, yeah. That's unfortunate. Hey, it's okay. You didn't know. Yeah. I assumed, you know. Let's see. Let's see. Burke says to Geo H&S airbrushes are very nice. They have some unique engineering that has made them incredibly easy to work with. Yeah, they have some pretty interesting things going on. Some of their designs are kind of out there, you know what I mean? So, let's see. Brian says most of us are degenerates, Derry, so we apologize. Well, thank you for apologizing in advance, Brian. She says, don't worry, I'm a bit of a degenerate myself. Nice. Look at this. Everybody's welcoming Derry. That's so sweet of you guys. Look at this. Bill, welcome, Derry. One of us. There you go. Mikey says, I posted a picture in the community. Did you now, Boyle? Nice. Jesus Christ, Brian. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. Welcome to the cult, Derry. Jesus, yeah. Derry says, what's your favorite Gundam and also your favorite mobile suit? That's a question.
We have a question.
Let's go. All right, so favorite Gundam. We're talking strictly the Gundam line. Oh man, it's a toss-up. I'm not gonna lie. It's a toss-up between the Stormbringer and it's the toss-up between the Tristan. The Gundam Stormbringer or Gundam Tristan. The Tristan is such an underrated design. And it was so mismanaged and so misused that it just kills me inside. The Stormbringer is just a masterpiece in terms of just aesthetics and balance and everything. They both hold equal spots in my heart. So for Gundam designs, that's it. Those two. Those are top 2. Yeah, those are top 2. In my opinion, both designs are just absolutely goated. 100%, without a doubt. I wish they would have done more with the Tristan. I wish they would have saved it for some other media. But alas, here we are. What are you gonna do? Now for my favorite mobile suit in general, Jesta. Jesta. Yeah, it's chef's kiss. Yeah, Jesta. Darius says her favorites are Double X and the Union Flag. Those are actually really good. The Double X is a stunning silhouette. And the Union Flag, kind of an underrated design. He said, Bill says, that is a question, right? Julius sent gold coin for 10 jewels. Jeez. For Tim, it's the master grade. Yeah, see? Brian knows me. He knows my mind. Gary, question of the day. Why you always looking handsome, Tim? Do tell the secret, maybe. Shut up, Gary. Shut up. If anybody's looking handsome, it's that little dude that you got, little Easy, man. He's a cute little bugger, man. He's adorable. Gary says, none of us are responsible. We build Gunpla for Christ. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Pete says, is the community a US only feature? I can't click or access it on my phone. That's weird. I don't think that it should be, because I know Apex Nerd from the UK posted in it. Yeah, I don't know, Petey. I don't know, man. I don't think that it is, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Kelvin says, later, early day tomorrow. Balls removal for Rusty the... Oh, my God. I'm glad I read the rest of that. No more puppy. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, Kelvin, I love this shit out of you, buddy. I really do. You never know what you're gonna get when Kelvin comments, and I'm fucking here for it. I love it. I love everyone. Holy crap. Oh man. I'm very glad that I read the rest of that sentence. Whoo boy. Let's see. Anthony says it might be, Pete. I forget about having one, to be honest, and I rarely posted mine. Yeah. Oh, post it. Yeah. The community's great. It's just a centralized place for everything. So, yeah, I like it, and I like perusing and, you know, adding comments, likes, you know, motivation, things like that, feedback, all of that stuff. So, yeah, it's a nice feature that YouTube implemented. I wish they would make it a little more robust, though. Let's see. Brian says he uses Tomita weathering palettes and adds a nice layer of gloss on his head for that deep shine, Gary. That's why he's handsome as fuck. Well, you know, so fresh, so clean, you know. Gary says, what's amazing about my local hobby town is that it's a very LGBTQ plus friendly, and so I have a place I can go to and be myself. See, that's cool as fuck. And I think everyone should have a place like that, you know? And that's kind of why I like this hobby, is because I finally found my people, my tribe. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. I love hearing that. Fucking love that. Bill says to Pete, try updating your phone app. I know it isn't on the iPad app, but it is on the iPhone and Android. Interesting. Huh. YouTube, get your shit together, dude. Darius says, I know that Tristan is just beautiful. It got done so dirty. Yeah, right? It got just fucking bent over and put into a short that hardly anyone ever saw. Such bullshit. Gary says, I have a Stormbringer in all matte black. Ooh. Kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Bill says, hi new for me on the Gundam. That's solid. Yeah. Mobile suit, of course. The Dallas. Nice. Nice. Gio says, 9 airbrushes, but I want one more airbrush. I want the H&S Kolani, but I think it got discontinued. Jesus, how many airbrushes do you need, buddy? I literally have 3. And do you know how many I use? 1. I use 1. This one I use for pretty much everything. Priming, painting, everything, clear coating, everything. This one. This is my workhorse. Beyond anything. And look. Little quick connection deal there. That's an absolute must, by the way, kids. Oh, it's so nice. Let's see. Gizmo. Jonathan, what's up, buddy? He says the Tristan was robbed of a chance to become an amazing mech. Oh, dude, you are not lying. You are not lying. I need to build a master grade 1/100 scale Tristan. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the next build or not, but I need to do that eventually because the Tristan is such a good one. Julius says, good night, everyone. Julius, thank you, buddy. If you didn't see, guys, Julius posted a very, very nice video on Instagram about the stickers that he got from the Child of Mecha store. So go check those out. The Power GM sticker that he got is just ridiculously huge. I am in awe of it. So really, really good stuff. Yes, our boy Julius is now a video star on social media. So good stuff. Julius, thank you, buddy. But Geo says 9 airbrushes, including the $20 one. The $20 airbrush came back into service a couple of kits ago because the patch was acting out. It got me through that project. Still works great. Can't complain about a $20 airbrush that just works, right? Let's see, Gary. Good night, everyone. Time to drive home. Gary, be safe, buddy. Be safe. Let's see, Anthony says, we all know YouTube don't really care about the community because it brings them no money. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Darius says, I found so many amazing friends through Gunpla and Gundam as a whole. Me too, right? Like, obviously everybody here, right? But so many other folks, you know? I've had just the absolute pleasure of making acquaintances. And I'm talking like people from all over the planet. It's just awesome. You know, you gotta think like when, like Pete is over in Japan, Apex Nerd is in the UK, Enrico, Javier, and Barack are all in South America. Like, literally all over the planet. And it's amazing. Edwin is in, where was Edwin from? Indonesia, I think? Something like that. Yeah, it's just awesome. It's awesome. Brian says, tribe you say? Ooga chaka. Jesus Christ. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka. Do, 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 do. Yeah, anyway. Brian says, we snort that fresh Japanese ABS by the... Yeah, we do. Gizmo says, also an underrated mech design was the Grimoire. You're not lying. You're not lying. It took me a minute to warm up to that one, but you're not lying. You're not lying at all. Bill says to Geo, why do you want the HNS colonic? That just sounds uncomfortable. Ah, colonic. Hey. Hey-oh. Jesus Christ. Anthony says, Master airbrushes are honestly surprisingly good for as cheap as they are. Yeah, it's a good starter airbrush. Can't lie. Burke says, well, air to dry it out, then some sort of chemical to hit those specific spots inside. Airbrush might help the hemorrhoid. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Jesus. Mike says, by the power of friendship and plot plate. There you go. Anthony says, yes, Edwin is in Indo. I thought so. For some reason, like, he was on the other night, and I, for some reason, thought he was in Australia. And I don't know why. But he corrected me, and yeah, I remember him saying that. Gio says, my favorite kit is the Master Grade Banshee, but that's because when I painted it, everything clicked. 2 shades of purple, black, and cobalt blue. Water slides went down perfect. In my opinion, it was perfect. Nice. Derry says, I'm probably going to head out within the next hour. The pain meds are kicking my ass. I have a muscle contusion so bad that it almost became a fracture. Holy shit. Damn. Rest up. Rest up. And get better. We're about to punch the clock anyways because it's already 12:30. Let's see. Pete says, thanks, Bill. Updating worked. Nice. Made a quick post with images of some of my custom airbrushes from my new unique set. Yay! The gallery airbrushes. Awesome. Yay. No, I'm fucking with you, Pete. I'm fucking with you. Nah, man. If you like them and they're cool, then all good. Bill says, no worries, Derry. This stream won't go too much longer. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're about there. Hope you feel better fast, Derry. Thank you, Anthony. That's a good way to end the stream on a positive, affirming note, right? Night, everyone. Early day tomorrow for me. Yeah, we're punching the clock right now. So we didn't get shit done tonight, but that's fine. We talked a lot. We answered a lot of questions. Successful stream. All right. So you guys, make sure you go buy some. And also go to shop.childofmecha.com. Pick up t-shirt, hats, hoodies, stickers, posters, what have you. It's all there. It's awesome stuff. Go support your boy. Thank you for all of the weird gifts. It's awesome. And everything there. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Swanky sent another gift. Swanky sent a star for 2 jewels. I have no idea what value that is at all, but it's just funny. Let's see. Swanky says, my bad, Tim, for all the questions. Hope everyone has a good night. Dude, no, Swanky, don't do that. Don't you apologize for asking questions, buddy. Don't fucking do that. We won't do that around here. Because we answer the questions. I like to answer questions if you haven't already noticed, right? Yeah, Michael, thank you, buddy. Look at Mikey. He says, never apologize for wanting knowledge. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. And especially Swanky, this is the thing, buddy. You have been here since the beginning of your journey. You know, you have basically, essentially graced us with your presence. You know what I'm saying? Because we now have the responsibility to help guide you along and basically be your shepherd in terms of this wonderful hobby. And we're happy to do it. You know what I mean? So absolutely not. Do not ever, ever apologize for asking questions. Never, ever, ever, ever. Never. Okay? Never. Never, ever, ever. So, yeah, buddy. It's all good. Always ask questions. Always ask questions. Yeah, Burke says, we love questions. Fuck yeah. Pete says, be like that and it becomes a matter of principle. Oh, come on now. Let's see. Thanks, y'all, and Tim. Love. Yeah. Anthony says, my comments on my videos are all open for questions as well, in case you don't want to bug Tim. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much experience in this chat. It's not even funny. Bill says, only time you need to apologize is for deciding ignorance is better than learning something new. God damn right, Bill. And that's, you know what? And Gio? Remember our boy on Facebook? Motherfucker bought a $750 Perfect Grade Unleashed new and then wanted to have it electroplated for another $800 because he didn't want to paint. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, electroplated. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Swanky says, cool, gonna check that out, Anthony. Yeah, there to go. There we go. Making connections. I love it. I love it. Good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. See, and that's what the community is all about. That's what the Mecha Army is all about. And that's why I love this shit. I love this shit. Swanky says, what does that even mean, right? Electroplating is like, if you ever seen like motorcycles and car parts like getting chromed, that's electroplating. But this dude wanted to electroplate his perfect grade new on the runner, and they wanted to charge him $800, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a good price." Buddy, just learn to paint. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Anyway, Derry says that is definitely a thought of all time. Yeah, for real, right? Anthony says there are people I know that bought 2 perfect grade news by accident. LOL. Allegedly. Oh my God, you didn't, Anthony. By accident, bud? Jeez, bud. Wow. LOL. There are definitely people who bought 2 perfect grade news. Oh my God. I know I sold a few of them. Jesus. Bill says electroplating is depositing metal particles on a surface by running a current through the part to attract metal atoms. Yeah. It does work on plastic, believe it or not. It does. But yeah, $800 to electroplate a perfect grade new because the dude didn't want to learn how to paint. And he posted that in Facebook, by the way. So I'm not speaking out of turn, but still. Oh man, yeah. Anthony says I was not that person, but they are in Georgia's stream daily. Nice. Coating apart with the metallic particles using electricity. Yeah, fancy shit. It is. Yeah. Derry says there's a guy designing and 3D printing a heavy weapons system set for the perfect grade new. Oh shit, that's crazy. Gio says I saw that post. I told him he was full of shit buying 2 kits by accident. I got banned from that group. Oh shit, Gio. What group are you not banned from at this point, buddy? Oh God, it's hilarious. My God. Anyway, all right, kiddos, we're gonna punch the clock. I gotta. I'm so hungry right now. It's not even funny. I haven't eaten dinner. Yes, so go and check out the Child of Mecha store, shop.childofmecha.com. Pick up some Mecha Decals. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Go build something cool. Be safe out there. I will be back tomorrow at noon Eastern U.S. time. So come on back, hang out with us. Hopefully we'll get something done tomorrow. These should be perfectly glued into place, and those are almost there. There's just a little flex in them, but those should be good for tomorrow. So aside from that, man, stay tuned for the end credits. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Plot plate.